There are times in life where being lazy is essential to recharge from the craziness of our day-to-day life. But usually we like to use our time in the best way possible in order to achieve things in life. Whether that's studying for school or being productive at work, to start a new hobby or to finally start our own business. But when we're lazy, we tend to let ourselves go in every area of life. We don't exercise, we stop caring about what we eat, we choose a job that's the easiest and that's just enough to keep us afloat. We stay in our comfort zone and we basically stop working on ourselves. If you feel like you got stuck in this lazy phase and can't seem to find a way out, I've been there. So in this video, I'm sharing what helped me in the past to get my ass up, to stop being lazy, and to get my life together. The first and most important or most efficient tip that probably most people nowadays could need is a dopamine detox. You might have heard of this before, it's kind of becoming a trend lately, and there's a reason for that. But first, what is that dopamine everybody's talking about? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that basically makes us desire things. And this desire, in turn, motivates us to do these things that release dopamine. And with that, make us feel good. I feel good. With our smartphones and our Netflixes and our PS4s in front of us all the time, it's never been easier to make ourselves feel good. That rush of dopamine we get just by scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, by binge watching the newest season of Stranger Things, or by winning another Mario Kart race, just feels so good that we think to ourselves, why should we be doing anything else if this is the most enjoyable way to spend our leisure time? And after all, we've been working hard all week, so we deserve our Saturday on the couch in front of our screens, right? Well, maybe, but the more you do these things, the more dopamine your body wants. And while you can get dopamine from a variety of activities, whether that's reading Atomic Habits, working out, or working on your side business, but these activities require more effort than just sitting on your couch watching Netflix. And the resulting release of dopamine is not as intense as the one that you get from scrolling through social media. So, you're probably guessing it by now. In order to make yourself desire to do more productive things, you need to reduce your dopamine intense activities to detox your brain from these high dopamine levels so that you can actually enjoy doing the hard things that are actually way more rewarding in the long run. But next to reducing your dopamine overload, there are also some practical tips that can help you to get out of your laziness rut. Number 1, make yourself a plan of action. If you find yourself struggling with actually achieving what you've planned to do, write down when, where, and how you are gonna take steps to reach that goal. For example, instead of just always talking about wanting to eat healthier, define how you're gonna do that. For example, by drinking a smoothie every day, when you're gonna do that. For example, every day at breakfast, and where you're gonna do that. For example, if you work at home, in your kitchen, or if you have to go to the office every day, then at the juice bar next to your workplace. This way, it gets harder to put off what you've been wanting to do because you would be deriving from a plan that you've already made. And the second tip kind of connects with this first tip, and that is to take small steps or to break down big projects into small doable ones. Because when you're new to the motivation game, it's easy to get carried away by, setting yourself these big goals, but this can overwhelm you and with that kill your motivation. Tip number 3 is to start with the easiest task. If you have your plan of actions and you've broken down the big projects into little baby steps, it's always better to start with the easiest ones because that motivates you. For example, when I had to write exams in school, I always started with the easiest questions first. Because with that, first, I got into the flow. Second, seeing that I could actually answer the easiest question motivated me to keep going. And third, it reduced the quantity of questions left faster than if I would have started with the harder questions. And this reduced quantity helped me to not be overwhelmed by the whole exam. Tip number 4 is to start immediately. You might have heard about the 2-minute rule. If you haven't, you really need to read Atomic Habits. And the basic idea of this rule is that if the task you need to do takes less than 2 minutes to be accomplished, you do it immediately. And this way you first get it over with and just have it out of your mind, out of your system. And second, if there are more tasks related to this one task, it's easier to just keep on going with accomplishing all of the tasks. For example, if there's one dirty dish in your sink from dinner and you clean it because it takes less than 2 minutes, but then you see that your countertop is also dirty. So you just keep on cleaning your kitchen and then you end up cleaning the whole kitchen because you're in the flow. And that actually often works, even if that sounds a bit crazy, but the biggest challenge to get something done is to get started to get it done. So this rule is really a golden rule. Oh, and also, if you start immediately doing the task that you have to do, you save time and energy discussing with yourself whether you should do the task or, be lazy. And that way also make it harder for yourself to find excuses to procrastinate. Tip number 5, adjust your environment. Our environment has a huge impact on our mind and on our mindset and on our motivation. So if there's clutter all over your desk, that clutters your mind as well and can kill your motivation. And similar to that, distractions should also be avoided. Out of sight, out of mind actually works most of the time, at least, if not always. So put your phone away. Don't just, turn it around because then you still hear the vibrance, or if you just see it there, laying there, you automatically think about, maybe I should check it. Even if you don't check it, even if you convince yourself to not pick your phone up, this distraction alone of discussing with yourself whether you should look at your phone or not already can distract you and keep you from doing what you were actually trying to do. Tip number 6 is to make boring or tedious tasks fun. For example, cleaning the bathroom is a lot more fun when you're listening to your favorite playlist. Or going for a run is also more fun when you are listening to your favorite podcast. Something that my boyfriend and I like to do, because we're still both not big cleaning fans, we decided to clean our whole apartment together on a Sunday morning. And then after, I know Sunday morning sounds rough, but after the cleaning, we had pancakes. And that actually made the whole cleaning thing a lot more fun. First, because we did it together. Second, because we were listening to music we liked. And third, because we were looking forward to the pancakes. My next tip is something you've heard before and probably can't hear anymore, but it's important, and that is to exercise. And I know you hear this in probably every second YouTube video, especially in mine, but this has a reason. Because both science and my own experience, which is of course a lot stronger argument, show that exercise really makes your body and your mind not to even want to be lazy anymore. Because your body and your mind get used to this challenge. Doing nothing in a bad way, doing nothing sometimes is very important, but doing nothing in a lazy kind of way, an overload of doing nothing, is just at some point gonna be boring. And it doesn't have to be, hitting the gym every day. If you don't like fitness, then find yourself a sport that you actually enjoy doing, whether that's dancing or boxing or, biking to all your appointments or your work, or just taking a walk every day, listening to your favorite podcast. My tip number 8 is a very important one that I'm actually doing a lot of videos about, and I'm planning to do even more videos about it, and that is sleep. Take care of your sleep quantity and quality. I know this is kind of obvious because being tired makes you want to sit on your couch all day because you're too tired to do anything. You actually don't have the energy. But when you get used to that, of course, you just, get used to being lazy, and you don't want that, right? And if you don't really know how to improve your sleep quantity and sleep quality, have a look at my playlist about sleep. Because as you can see, sleep is very important, not only to me, but also to you. It should be, at least. My next tip is to celebrate every small win. Because if you have that big goal of, for example, starting your own business or just to get fitter, it's very helpful if you reward yourself regularly. Not only in the end when you achieve the goal, especially because sometimes goals are very difficult to measure. When you finally manage to cook yourself a very healthy, delicious dinner, or when you stuck to your workout schedule for a couple of weeks in a row, or depending on where you're starting from, just for getting out of bed and taking a shower every day. Celebrate it. Tap yourself on the shoulder and, be grateful. My next tip is pretty simple, but still often not followed, and that is to ask for help. And I'm kind of guilty as charged because I'm sometimes too proud to ask for help, and that's stupid. I can't say that's stupid, and I'm still doing that mistake. If you feel like you struggle with following through with something, ask for help. get yourself an accountability partner. Tell your partner or your best friend or your brother, whomever, or your neighbor, hey, I really want to start going for a run 3 times a week. Can you please check if I actually do it? Either make them come with you or just, make them punish you if you're not doing it, or make them reward you if you're doing it. My next tip is especially important when you're working from home, because at home it can be really hard to discipline yourself and to get into the mood of being productive. And something that helps here a lot is dressing up, or dressing appropriately to the situation. Because if you're in your joggers all day, yes, you can be productive, but it's a lot harder. However, if, for example, you put on your suit, you will probably find it hard to even just sit on your couch and watch Netflix. Possible, I know, but it's harder. Food actually make people. Food? Clothes actually make people. I don't know if that's a saying in English, to be honest, but in German, that's what we say. And it's true, not only for the other people, also for yourself. Because, for example, I feel very different if I'm wearing a pencil skirt and high heels and a blazer compared to when I'm wearing my sports leggings and my sneakers. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please give it a like, because that really helps my channel. And comment down below in what areas you're currently struggling with being too lazy or being lazier than you'd like. And if you like this kind of content, hit subscribe and also ring the bell, because if you don't ring the bell, you won't get a notification and you might miss my next video, which you do not want to miss. Thank you for watching and take care.